According to Moscow, it was the massive explosion caused by all that ammunition going off at the same time that made the nearby mall catch fire as well. On top of that, the Ukrainian city's mayor is saying that the mall's management, for some reason, decided it wasn't going to shut the place down if the air raid alarms started to go off.
Neglecting air raid alerts is a crime, which the tragedy at Amster has once again demonstrated. The investigation has revealed that the administration of Amster had announced on the 23rd of June that the mall would no longer be closed during air raid alerts.
If a high-precision missile dealt that much damage to nearby infrastructure, imagine the destruction that an artillery bombardment would have wrought. According to a previous conclusion by the International Criminal Court, Russia should be well within its rights to bomb a 70-meter radius around an alleged military target. Why? Well, there's the case of Ante Gotovina and Mladen Markac, two former Croatian generals who were acquitted of war crimes by the skin of their teeth. At first, these Western-backed military men were found guilty of indiscriminately bombing towns as part of an offensive that killed 116 civilians and displaced hundreds of thousands in 1995 in the middle of the Yugoslav wars. The Hague originally decided that bombarding beyond a 200-meter radius of a military target was outside the bounds of reasonable error.
The chamber found that the shelling constituted an indiscriminate attack on these towns and an unlawful attack on civilians and civilian objects.
It was only after they appealed the ruling that The Hague determined that 200 meters was in fact too strict, and so the Croatian generals were let off the hook, despite the fact that they had ordered the bombings of civilian-populated areas up to 700 meters away from military targets.
The appeals chamber unanimously found that the trial chamber erred in concluding that all artillery impact sites located more than 200 meters from a target deemed legitimate served as evidence of unlawful attacks. The trial chamber erred in finding that artillery attacks ordered by Mr. Gotovina and Mr. Markic were unlawful.
So Russia's being accused of a war crime after causing collateral damage 70 meters away from what it says was a military target. But Western-backed potential war criminals get away scotch-free for bombing civilians 700 meters away? Not only are the double standards glaringly obvious here, but it also begs a couple questions. Why in the world would Ukraine place military infrastructure that close to a shopping mall? And why was the mall allowed to be open in the first place, unless the authorities were trying to use civilians as human shields?